This week on Ken's Tech Lab, Bambu sent us the replacement heat bed for the A1. Let's do the installation and see how easy it really is. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Like I was saying in the intro, we are going to replace the heat bed on the A1. I've only used my A1 about 3 prints before the notification came out that we needed to stop using it, and there was a recall. And I decided then that I was just going to wait for the replacement and not do the full refund and have to purchase it again. Since I know that this prints fine, I didn't want to start over and have to worry about shipping and everything else that goes on with getting another printer. So we're going to replace this today, and we're going to have to lay it down and get things done. Let's open up the box here, and we have some foam in the heat bed itself, and a little rubber stopper that's for so you don't bend it back on the cable again. So we'll set this down here. So what I'm going to do is use this box to hold the printer up off of the poop chute over on the side of the A1 so I don't crush anything. And here's the new heat bed with the new cable, and instead of it being a hard cable like this one is, it's a braided cable, so it probably take a lot more strain relief on it than the original one did. So without further ado, let's make some changes here and get this installed. Alright, so the number one thing that we need to do is take off the build plate, and I'll just set this somewhere where it's not going to be destroyed. And what we need to do is remove the rubber pieces here. There's one here, 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 and here that cover the screws. So what I'm going to do is replace or remove all the screws that are needed. And I knew there would be a lot of screws coming out of this thing, so I'm going to use an electronic screwdriver. So the first thing I want you to do is take the rubbers out, and don't lose them. So that's 1, 2, 3. And that's all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Down inside here, there are 4 little screws that hold this onto the rails. So it says bring it back. And we need to see, there we go. Okay. Maybe it'll just come out with the bed. So that's one off. Boy, that one was just tight all the way around. Okay, there's one here. And one here. That one was real tight though. I wonder if it was cross-threaded. Alright. With those 4 off, we're going to be able to lift this right out like this. And put it down. Now we do not have that sitting here anymore. And we are fully clear. So now we're going to turn it over on its side. The next thing we need to do is unplug these little plugs. There's a yellow or a white. They've got wraps around them. So one is white with a white circle around it. One is orange and one is green. And they all have the little connectors that match the color. So what we're doing is taking these out. These is what you put in when you first got the printer. And now what we have to do is there's a USB-C that slides in. And we need to take a screw out that holds this whole thing in here so we can actually pull it out like that. Easy peasy. All right, that's all clear. That's all clear. All right, the next thing is to take out the, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on the back, and we're going to do that now. And we're going to make sure that these screws are in a safe place. And they're all the same size screws, so you don't have to worry about that. Down the bottom. And one over here, and that should be the last one. All right. Now we should be able to take this piece off right here. Set it over to the side. And this also shows us, can you see that real good? I think so. Right in here. This shows us the where it comes through. Let's see if you can see my finger. Yeah, it comes through here, and then it goes into here. So the next thing that we need to take off is this plate right here. This one has a lot more screws in it than the other one did. So let's start taking these out. And like I said, they're the same size screws. Okay, we have one in the back. Okay, here. I believe there's 10 screws on this part. I don't know if this one's there or not. They are, they're longer than I have. So I'm going to have to do that one manually. Let's see if there's one down there. Yep. And one here. Just gotta find it. There it is. And one here. And one here. I already got those. See how we are. See how we're doing. Out, 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 out. There's one there. There we go. Okay. And we don't want to break it either. So if you feel it not wanting to come out, it's probably because we missed a screw. Let's see. I got this one. Yeah, I got this one. Okay, there's probably little clips. That's all it was. Just a little clip. The screws that were a little bit deeper. And there's the other one. I did get this bottom one right. Yes. Okay. So that one's out. And that one's out. I don't know what's holding it. In the lab, getting a flathead is a little bit harder than you would think. There we go. Off. Okay, we don't want to lose these plastic pieces, so we'll set it here. And now you have a look. Make sure you can see all of it, of the entire back end. So let me see if I can move this camera over just a little bit. Okay. So we have the motherboard, the power supply, and the important parts that we need to unplug and take out. So this one right here was just to get out of the way because we needed to take out the other thing there. Let's see. That's an antenna. And over here are the two cables that run inside. So if you look inside, if you look at the, if you do this yourself, and let's take out the new one. Okay, we're going to be probably reusing the, I want to call it, it's like a felt tape there and there, because they don't really give you new pieces of that and you need to use them. Okay, and some silicone, and then you have those, and which is nothing but a information, power, and a ground. Not much to them. So let's go ahead and take off the old one completely and get that out of our way. And that's going to be, and there's little clips here that when you press them in, it releases them. Just like that, they're both out. Okay. We have to take the information one out, which is right there. Kind of tight though. That's one weird thing. And we have to take off the ground wire. That's this one right here. Okay. So let's take off the ground wire. That might give us some. And all these screws well, this one is not the same screw, but the same screw head, so that's good. All right, that's off. That pulls that out. I see what they did. So there's a little, I think you have to route the new one over the same thing, but they put a piece of tape completely around the information one, if you can see that right there. And with the tape completely around it, it wouldn't come off. So now we're going to pull this, all this, let me pull this back through this way, and then pull the whole thing back through this way, and pull that out, and voila, the old heat bed is off. So there's the old heat bed. As I throw screws all over the place from inside of it. Any survive? No, they're all gone. One stuck on the bed because it has magnetics. Okay. All right. Now it is time for the new one. And what we're going to do is put this right over like this, just like we set the old one. And we're going to put the wires through. Make sure that they all come through. And that we got this part. And don't forget that this one wire right here, there's a ground wire. It's yellow and green. And it is the ground, so it's actually going to stay out and not go inside. Or through the little channel that there is here to send your wires through. Okay, I think I'm going to have to come on the other side for this. I'm going to get in everybody's way there for a minute, because I need to be able to see. And of course they don't want to go in. And that's normal for all wires. If wires actually listened, okay. And there it is. I actually got 2 pairs of tweezers with that kit from Minton, and that would be a good time to use them. Okay, it's through. I knew this would be the hardest part, right? Okay. All right, that's in. And the 2 black wires, the other one was white, one white, one black. This is just 2 blacks, and it does not matter which way they go in. There we go. And in. All right. All those wires are in. They're all back perfect. The only thing that's not perfect anymore is the ground wire we need to put back on here, which was a little screw. And we're going to do that now. goes right. Okay, that's in. Okay, now do I still have this in the right position for you guys? So the wires are all in, and we need now to make sure that this goes in. Okay. And there we go. Once you put the back on, it will go over everything. That was right there. Yeah, that was right there. That's a little Wi-Fi antenna. Okay, it's back. Okay, so this yellow wire I think was still right there. I don't think there's any problem with that. Just kind of goes like that. Okay. But they do want you to put these blue wires over and around the blue, well, not blue, it's blue, green, yellow, and white around the little screw posts. I know why they want them there, because they don't want them actually being creased in this plastic. But they're such small wires, and wires never want to do what you want them to do. They want to do what they want to do. So, if you take that, and you get a pair of side cutters. And you just get a piece of what was left, because the other part that was on the cardboard. And we get the piece of tape for the other side. All right. Get this down, and then that is not where I wanted it. I wanted it right there. All right. Hold those wires down, and looks like that they're down. They're not blocking that hole anymore. So I think that we're ready to put it back together again. All right, let's get the first piece of plastic, which was the big one. first of all, it's going to pop in first and be locked in. And there we go. Do we have this? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do the back first, I think. Okay. It's one. Two. And I think I'm going to put one in the front, or two. Looks like I didn't charge my okay. Don't over tighten these, it's just going into plastic. There's the T-handle, and just recheck them. Okay. Okay. Now I do want to put these middle ones in. And I want to do that. The my other screwdriver won't fit, so we'll just put them in like this. It's one. Two. Three. Move this away. Actually, I think it's pretty fast putting them in just with the T-tool. Okay, that should be all the screws in the top half. So now, so we don't forget, run this wire back in here, put this back in here, and then it screws down with a screw so it doesn't pull out. Right there. And then, like normal, if you can see this right here, you have green, orange, and white. There you go, that's all done. Now let's put on that first half, but before we do that, let's make sure that this is exactly where it needs to be. So I think it is. I always think it's going to be easier to see from that side, but it's not. Sorry guys, I gotta turn this back toward me again. Okay, I think that's just fine right there. We'll tell in a second when we put that other piece of plastic on, because that's going to hold it. Yeah, that's very tight once you put that on. But it still doesn't feel right. Nothing's out of the ordinary here. It's going right there. Let me try something. Okay. There. Goes. Maybe just a screw will hold it in there. Alright, so on this back cover, I'm going to take this back off. And then and it's got to be from this. Oh, there it goes. Okay. There it is. I just wasn't in hard, or I wasn't in enough to actually have it seat where it needed to seat. So let's put these screws in. And let me put this back around to you guys. Okay. And I'm only taking the screws down to the point where you can feel it like get tight and then stop. Okay. Okay, and that is all the screws. Excellent. So the only thing left now is actually putting the heat bed back on. And they just want to make sure that it's not crossed. So it should be up like that. And we're going to put these, let's see if I can get this lined back up. There we go. Let's see how well that goes. Let's put the screws in. We got it now. Yep. Okay. All right, with that, let's put the last screw back in. And that goes front right here. That's all screws in. And with the little rubber covers back on. And voila. The only thing we have to do now, I'm going to turn it back around because I did forget to do that one thing that we need to do. And that is I guess maybe I should have did open up the accessory bag because it came with, well, I'll save them for if I have to do it again. It came with new screws for the bed. So I guess I didn't have to go running around looking for the one that I dropped, but I did find it. It comes with a piece of tape, I didn't know, and new rubbers. Well, the old rubbers are just fine. And this is a little piece of rubber. It gets stuck on the back to make sure that you don't bend this cable up and cause another issue. And it goes right there. Alright, now all the pieces are on. I'll put this other one in the kit, back in the kit that I have for this printer. But I did use tape. I just used the tape that came with it originally. Let's put our there we go. And let me get some power and see if it smokes. Remember, if you let out the smoke, you can't put it back in. All right. This hasn't been on for a long time. All right. Okay, we have a new firmware that's come up. Let me see if I can get this closer. New firmware. I probably won't have you sit through all this. And I would suggest, after doing this, to do a full calibration again, because you don't know how far it was off after you've taken all 4 feet off of this, put it back on, and also taken the bed off. So I would do a full calibration again on this. Don't look like they put anything in there to be able to tell their software that, yeah, the bed was replaced. Anybody else that's waited for this and is doing this, don't forget that you do have a credit to use in the Bambu stores, so you only have a limited time to use that. So make sure that you get that done. I got to remind myself even to use that before it expires. So you got to think of, what will I buy from Bambu? All right, update successfully. All right. It's on the latest firmware. And what I was going to do is go to controls, go to bed, and let's heat this sucker up. To 60, and make sure that it's working. And we didn't let out the smoke, because if you let out the smoke, you can't put the smoke back in. Good, good, good. So for testing, I think what I'm going to do after I get through the calibration is just use one of my small rolls of filament, and now we can use a single roll instead of having to get out the, oh yeah, that's nice and hot. Good job, we did it.